Intuition suggests a serious medical crisis leads people to seek rest. But in 1518, a terrifying plague swept through Strasbourg. It compelled hundreds to dance non-stop. They danced until they collapsed, and some, ultimately, died. This wasn't a celebration or a protest. It was an involuntary, desperate ordeal. It defied all common sense and medical understanding of the time. We're delving into one of history's most bizarre and chilling events. In a few minutes, you'll understand how an entire city fell victim to an unstoppable, fatal rhythm, a true dance of death. Our story begins in July 1518, in the bustling city of Strasbourg. A seemingly ordinary woman, Frau Troffea, stepped out onto a narrow street. She then started to dance. This wasn't a gentle sway or a light jig. She danced with an unsettling intensity, day and night, without rest. Her feet moved rhythmically, seemingly possessed by an unseen force. She danced tirelessly for several days. Passers-by watched, first with curiosity, then with growing alarm. They saw her movements become more frantic, her body twisting and turning. This peculiar act by Frau Troffea was the spark. It ignited one of history's most bizarre and tragic events. It set the stage for an unfolding strangeness that would soon engulf an entire city. This single, unsettling act was just the beginning. It was a prelude to a larger, more horrifying phenomenon that would soon sweep through Strasbourg. It defied all reason and understanding, leaving observers utterly bewildered. The scene of Frau Troffea dancing alone became an eerie precursor. It hinted at the collective madness that would soon follow. Frau Troffea's solitary dance didn't remain solitary for long. Within days, more people joined her. First, a few individuals, then dozens. The phenomenon spread with alarming speed. By August, the number of dancers swelled to somewhere between 50 and 400 people. They moved collectively, a swirling mass of humanity, in an involuntary trance. The streets of Strasbourg became a stage for this macabre performance. A city was consumed by an inexplicable, collective frenzy. It wasn't a matter of choice. People felt an uncontrollable urge to move. They couldn't stop. It turned a personal eccentricity into a public spectacle. This was the start of something far more sinister than anyone could have imagined at the time. Imagine the utter confusion and terror. People watched their friends and family members unable to cease their frantic movements. The dancing was contagious, not through touch, but through some inexplicable psychological, or perhaps even physiological mechanism. The sheer scale of this impromptu, unending street party was unprecedented. It was terrifying. But this wasn't a momentary madness. The true horror lay in its unrelenting duration. The most disturbing details are still ahead. What makes the dancing plague truly unique is its brutal duration and intensity. These unfortunate souls didn't dance for hours. They danced for weeks. Days blurred into nights with no respite. They were driven by an unseen, internal rhythm. Imagine the physical toll, muscles screaming, lungs burning, feet bleeding and bruised. There was no food, no water, no sleep, just the relentless, exhausting motion. This wasn't merely physical endurance. It was psychological torment of immense proportions. Minds struggled against bodies that refused to obey. Contemporary accounts describe a scene of utter chaos and desperation. Dancers collapsing from sheer exhaustion, only to rise again, compelled to continue their macabre jig. The continuous exertion led to horrific consequences. Many suffered from severe dehydration, heat stroke, and crushing fatigue. This sustained physical ordeal goes far beyond any ordinary performance or celebration. It was a testament to a force that consumed individuals entirely. The sheer relentlessness transformed a strange phenomenon into a profound tragedy. The city watched as its citizens literally danced themselves into oblivion, powerless to intervene effectively. Each passing day saw more people falter, yet the dance continued. It was an involuntary marathon, with no finish line in sight. The relentless dancing eventually exacted a grim toll. The official records regarding the exact number of deaths remain somewhat controversial. However, contemporary accounts leave little doubt about the tragic consequences. Many dancers ultimately died from heart attacks, strokes, or complete physical exhaustion. Imagine the agony, the body simply giving out after weeks of continuous violent movement. This wasn't a quick, merciful end. It was a slow, agonizing decline played out in public view. It was a testament to the devastating power of this bizarre affliction. Reports speak of people dropping dead in the streets. Their bodies were quickly removed as others continued their involuntary dance around them. The grim consequences highlight the severity of the phenomenon. They transformed a strange sociological event into a stark medical catastrophe. It's a sobering reminder of how vulnerable human physiology can be. It shows how profoundly inexplicable forces can impact it. The continuous exertion pushed bodies beyond their limits. It led to organ failure, circulatory collapse, and ultimately, death. This widespread loss of life underscored the urgent need for intervention. Yet, the authorities were utterly baffled. They struggled to comprehend the true nature of the plague. The authorities' initial response was almost as baffling as the plague itself, revealing a complete lack of understanding about what was truly happening. The story gets even stranger. Faced with this escalating crisis, Strasbourg's authorities found themselves utterly bewildered. Their initial response was perhaps the most peculiar aspect of the entire affair. Believing it to be a fever curable only by continuous dancing, they actually encouraged it. They opened public spaces, hired musicians, and even built a stage. This official endorsement, however misguided, likely only exacerbated the spread and intensity of the plague. It gave legitimacy to the bizarre public spectacle. But, as the deaths mounted, their strategy shifted dramatically. They eventually banned dancing altogether. Musicians were silenced, and the stage was dismantled. This desperate flip-flopping illustrates the profound lack of understanding regarding the true nature of the phenomenon. They confined the remaining dancers to a hospital and administered religious rites. They desperately hoped for divine intervention. This change in approach highlights the panic and confusion. Authorities moved from misguided encouragement to strict prohibition. They were grasping at any possible solution. The city's reaction underscores the era's limitations in medical knowledge. It also reveals the pervasive influence of superstition. They tried everything from amplifying the problem to spiritual remedies. This bizarre official narrative forms a critical piece of the puzzle. It helps us understand the tragic events that unfolded in Strasbourg. It leaves us questioning how such a bewildering response could ever have seemed sensible. The dancing plague of 1518 remains one of history's most profound and chilling medical mysteries. While the exact cause continues to spark debate, modern theories offer some insight. John Waller, a historian, suggests stress-induced mass hysteria as the most popular explanation. This theory links the outbreak to the harsh living conditions, widespread anxiety, and social tensions prevalent in Alsace at the time. Others propose ergot poisoning, caused by a fungus on rye that can induce convulsions and hallucinations. Whatever the true trigger, the dancing plague stands as a stark reminder. It shows us the fragility of human psychology, especially under extreme duress. It's a testament to the strange, sometimes terrifying, ways our minds and bodies can react to unimaginable pressures. The story of Strasbourg teaches us about the complexities of both historical understanding and human vulnerability. It urges us to keep exploring the unexplained. Try to learn more about the human psyche and its extraordinary limits today.